However, you may be listening. We are live in LA on iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and for the remaining hour, Facebook.com/The Herd. You can watch us live. So we're up to 320,000 people who have stopped by today to watch the show. Doesn't count iHeart, doesn't count Fox Sports Radio, doesn't count iTunes, which we're killing it. Just 320,000 people have stopped by Facebook today. Fun. So about 8-10 times a year, we're not on television. We decided, let's connect with our audience. And we're talking sometimes during the break. We still haven't figured out when I do an interview how you can listen to that. That part's kind of frustrating for you. But we'll probably hit 400,000 people today that will stop by our show. 400,000, which would double the most listened to show I ever had at ESPN. That's how the world's changing, folks. That is how the world's changing. It is amazing how you now can listen to me on a delayed basis. It's really something amazing. I love the way the world works now in my business. You decide when you want to listen. My job is to put it out there. You can sit in your office and get me on Facebook.com/The Herd. You can get me delayed on iTunes. It's amazing. 25% of my audience listens to me on a delayed basis on a train, on a car driving home. It's amazing. It's so cool. It is so cool what's happening in our business. Mark Sanchez, now a Denver Bronco. RG3. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okie dokie, artichoke. What do we got? We got here we go. What? RG3, according to Adam Schefter, is visiting the Jets. Interesting. That's not where I'd want to go if I was RG3. I would go to Chip Kelly. Very interesting. So it's a quarterback carousel right now. Johnny Manziel's been released. Let's check that off. Mark Sanchez goes to Denver. Brock Osweiler's gone to Houston. It's a quarterback league. Kaepernick is leaving San Francisco and will probably go to the Jets or the Browns. And meaning the Jets do not like Ryan Fitzpatrick at the number Ryan Fitzpatrick wants to be paid. So where does Ryan Fitzpatrick go? You know, it is remarkable. Ryan Fitzpatrick's a smart kid. He went to Harvard. He completed 60% of his throws. He's got good mobility. Nobody wants him. He's not terrible, folks. You can win games. The Jets went 9-7 last year and had to play the Patriots twice. They were the best team in the NFL that didn't make the playoffs. It's like poor Ryan Fitzpatrick. I worked hard. I ended up being such a good student. I went to Harvard. I went 9-7 last year in a division with the Patriots. Nobody wants me. What? He's not terrible. He's fine. I mean, Mark Sanchez gets another shot, and Ryan Fitzpatrick's out there. Hey, I went to Harvard. I'm fairly mobile. I know I look with my beard unkempt, but I, by and large, can complete throws down the field. Nobody wants him. I mean, it's incredible. It's not like Ryan. People are willing to take reclamation projects. Kaepernick, guys who have been injured, RG3, guys who have a reputation, they don't work very hard, Sanchez. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a mason. Brick, went to Harvard, can move. Nobody wants him. It shows the price tag game. You know, people, they like certain people, they don't want to pay for them. Well, he works as the senior NBA writer for Bleacher Report, Sirius XM host, friend of mine for years, covers the NBA, was at the Cavs and the Lakers last night. The is affable and handsome Ric Bucher, though you can't tell that today just on radio. How are you, Ric Bucher?
I'm doing much better, John. Thank you for the intro. I didn't feel good about myself before. I certainly did.
So I'm watching the game, and I said this about 3 or 4 days ago, and I said, you know, if you look at LeBron's history, he not only left Miami, he left Pat Riley and Mickey Arison. And franchises are really families. The St. Louis Cardinals family is better than the Seattle Mariners family. And he left a lot of good people in Miami to Cleveland, and I'm not so sure that his game and his legacy has not peaked. I don't see him getting multiple titles. Apparently you have a little opposite kind of feeling on LeBron and the Cavs. Mine is, I'm not sure this team gets along and likes each other. I see apathy. What do you see with the Cavs?
I see boredom, and I do see them getting along. I mean, they get along famously. I was watching them in the pregame. They had an impromptu dunk contest, and Matthew Dellavedova decided they somehow convinced him to join in, and he did, even knowing
Ric Bucher joining us. Charles Barkley said on Colbert this week, doesn't think the Warriors will repeat. And the day I came out the next day and I said, well, I do, but it reminds me of an old college football team in '93 Alabama that nobody thought would beat Miami going for back-to-backs, and they weren't very flashy. And I said, folks, the San Antonio Spurs are 30-0 at home. They added David West, Aldridge, Ginobili's healthy, Kawhi Leonard's become next to LeBron the most complete player in the league. It isn't that. I mean, if you look at San Antonio, Rick, I can make the argument as this is about as good as they've been in 6 or 7 or 8 years, is it not?
Yeah, it is, but trying to translate, this is what we know about the Golden State Warriors. Whatever they do during the regular season, we know that they can execute when all things are equal and you're not playing, one team's playing a back-to-back and the other one's got something else going on or somebody's injured. Everything is equal. Everybody's on an even plane. We know that the Golden State Warriors can win in the postseason when everything is equal. I don't know that LaMarcus Aldridge and Jonathan Simmons and some of the guys that they are going to lean on, presumably heavily in the postseason, can operate under that pressure and deliver what is needed. And so the regular season success is not necessarily an indicator of what they will do in the postseason. And the Spurs, no matter what they do in the regular season, still have some elements that are unproven. And until they prove otherwise, I'm still going to bet on the Warriors coming out on top because we know what they're capable of.
Listen, Ben Simmons, college basketball is not what it was years ago when guys like Pat Ewing and Duncan stayed in for 3 or 4 years. Now in college basketball, you could not even be an NBA player, and Tyler Hansbrough could dominate in college for years and be so-so. Kaminsky is another guy. So we know college basketball is not as good as it used to be, and it's funny because Ben Simmons averaged 20 and 12 as a baby. And if he came back for another year, would probably go 30 and 15. He looks like the overwhelming dominant player. Doug Gottlieb said on my show he's the best one-and-doner he's ever seen since the one-and-doner thing started. Do you believe teams like Boston with multiple picks? We know the Lakers would use him as a 3 perhaps. Do you believe Phoenix has picks? Do you hear Ben Simmons talk right now in the NBA?
Sure. As far as the talent, absolutely. Is there a little bit of a concern? Yes, there's a little bit of a concern because the talent is one thing. Imposing it upon opponents is another. And there is a little bit of disturbance that he does not take shots, that he does not, being the best player on his team, that he does not force the issue. Now we can all look at it and say, well, he's just being a team player, he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins had that. They said that about Andrew Wiggins a little bit at Kansas too.
Well, and what have we seen from Andrew Wiggins? He doesn't, as great as he is, he doesn't play, the criticism is he doesn't play hard every night. And if you're going to be the next Kobe, or you're going to be the next Michael Jordan, then you need to carry that. And I don't see that with Wiggins. Now, we've seen it, and it partly is because guys come in so young. They develop that, and they can get a little more of a killer mentality. But the hype is so great with Ben Simmons, like the greatest one and done we've ever seen. People are immediately expecting a LeBron James-like career. The comparisons with Andrew Wiggins, it put the pressure on the kid to deliver right away, and not everybody can stand up to that. Or, ultimately, Ben Simmons can have a great NBA career, but if he's not the next LeBron based on the hype at this point, he's going to be a disappointment.
Yeah.
That's a little crazy.
It is. He's going to be a 20-point-a-game guy, and that's a very good point. It is the culture in basketball has changed. Kids now, there's not as much conflict in high school basketball rivalries. The AAU thing, everybody likes everybody, and a lot of these kids are super talented, but they don't grow up wanting, like MJ and Kobe, wanting to strangle their opponents. They're just, Wiggins and Ben Simmons have a certain, I don't know if it's apathy or lethargy. They're just, it's a weird culture we live in now. AAU basketball, Rick, these guys are all friends.
They're all
Yep.
Shouldn't we have learned this from the Kevin Love discovery?
Yep.
What he did in Minnesota,
Yep.
and now what he's doing in Cleveland?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, Rick, is money. It used to be MJ saw rivals as impediments to his legacy. Now there is so much money in basketball today. They all play together that there's kind of a sensibility in basketball culture today that, hey, listen, man, we're all going to get rich here. Let's all be cool about this. We're all being taken care of. It used to be your rival was an impediment to money. Now everybody gets paid. Hundreds of millions. It seems like money and AAU, and I'm not blaming players. I still love watching the NBA, but there isn't the conflict and the impediment sense that there used to be. That's just my take.
Well, it's also, you don't have to prove it. I mean, we're going back. In the Magic, Bird, Jordan days, you weren't playing across the country. You had to beat rivals. You had to beat your rival high school, and then you had to beat your rival college. And you had these people that knew you, and you had to prove yourself against another guy. And you know how you proved yourself against that other guy? You beat that other guy.
Right.
You led your team past his team. Now, does anybody keep score in AAU? They go, this guy had 20 and 15 against so-and-so. And it becomes a question of, we look at guys individually and their highlight reel and I want a rule where we're not going to play your highlights, and this has never happened. And this is the old school part of me. We're not playing your highlights on SportsCenter or Fox or anyplace else unless your team won. 360 dunk. It drives me crazy. But look at also, with this acrobatic dunk down in the third quarter. They lost by 20, but man, that was a great moment.
Now,
If it doesn't contribute to you ultimately winning the game, I don't care that you got that great dunk.
yeah. Ric Bucher, Sirius XM, Bleacher Report senior reporter. You look great on TV, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
I know, isn't it amazing? Lighting can do it.
It's all that surfing in the Bay Area. Ric Bucher. Thanks, man. Oh, I got something. Speaking of this, okay, I'm gonna go on the air, and I'm gonna try to be nice about it. I'm gonna try to be kind and gentle.
Okay.
But you better go to Facebook.com/theherd, because I'm gonna go nuts for 5 minutes when we get back. I'm gonna go nuts. We're gonna stop this. There's an argument out there. We're gonna stop. Guys, I've figured it out. I've discovered the key to an amazing shape.
High School.
Simple. It's just joining DollarShaveClub.com. That's why Kristine's a member, I'm a member, Troy Aikman's a member. Amazing razors, third of the price, delivered to your door. And they now have Dr. Carver's Shave Butter. Now, I did not shave this morning.
Very special because it was
you go on
unique.
TV, though, I'll be all
No one has ever done
shaved up on TV. It's a couple.
across different clubs. Different clubs could do it.
If you want the most amazing shave possible and Dr. Carver's Shave Butter, third of the price, DollarShaveClub.com, DollarShaveClub.com.
Just when I said taking my cholesterol, so I hope you'll stay put.
Why nobody's ever thought of it,
Yeah,
I
so
don't know. But also the way they conveyed it, the way they threw themselves into it, the way they dressed up, they really entered into the spirit of it. So I think that's what's right. Against what's a very, very stiff group of competitors.
Lucy, Corbin, Rory, David, and Liam. Well done for all your hard work.
Got John Goulet, producer extraordinaire.
Good luck in the Premier League and
Hey, what am I? Music extraordinaire, what am I? I got Sammy Cash, best dressed man. Here you go, guys. But everyone hangs out. Got TVs.
got a competition. I want to show
Nice little studio here.
so fast, and I don't know what I'm saying.
We're in break.
Mom, we won the finals.
Now I'll go back inside.
Yeah.
Things like this. And the development of the growth of the young people doing things like this.
Alright, guys.
That's exactly what the
We're
foundation
back
is all
on.
about.
Let's hear it for the Sleep High School. Manchester United!
got here? What do we got?
Chewy, you gonna fill in?
For what?
You're gonna fill in for Colin.
I can. I most definitely can.
You guys want to see the window view?
What?
It's this lovely Burbank.
That's a good hit for Bucher. He's fired up.
I'll have the Peter King ready.
Peter King, okay.
And Mary Kay Cabot on dealing with Manziel.
Oh, he was just like...
Just a couple bites, string them together.
Okay.
No.
People are asking if Goulet got his flat screen yet.
No, we haven't.
Very soon. I found a new house right around the corner
Oh,
From
did you?
where?
from my house.
I thought you were gonna move to Brentwood or Palisades.
No, I was always going to stay in
No, you
Manhattan
want to
Beach.
stay near
You're
the
staying
beach,
in Manhattan
right?
Beach. Okay, good.
You want the Peter King on Manziel? Or the one on the Rams?
No, the one on Manziel, and then give me a Mary Kay Cabot on Manziel.
Colin, they want to know what you were eating.
Bagel.
How was the 405 traffic this morning to Burbank, Colin?
Not bad at all.
Colin, you did a show at Camp Pendleton, right?
I did.
Before? Yeah.
It's awesome.
Kristine, somebody's asking you if that's the Russell Westbrook Slayer outfit.
What's up? Why does everyone have to judge me so hard
Yeah.
today or what I'm
We got
wearing?
Sailor Kristine here.
It's me being a sailor.
Stripes.
Yesterday I was wearing a cape. I have holes in my jeans as usual. There are other jeans with holes.
I always think when people say, "Hey, you gotta give me credit on Twitter."
Why?
I'm gonna give you credit
You
on
don't have to do
Twitter.
anything.
Yeah, like people are always like, "Give me credit for that line." How pathetic are you if in your life
You think I care?
you think you need credit on Twitter?
What about the people who
My
say,
daughter's 15. She could be on Twitter. Like,
Right. What about the people who say, like, you have to follow me back? And then you look and they, like, don't tweet anything. Like, why?
No,
Why?
like
You know what
I
I'm
always thought the funniest thing about social media was this idea that you have to give people credit for breaking stories. So think about that. If I was a Major League Baseball, this is ridiculous. This is directed at all the media in the country. This is how arrogant media is, how self-important they think they are.
Okay.
So if I covered baseball, and I have to cover it 8 months a year, I'll talk about this on the air. Oh, no, I'll talk about this on the air. It's ridiculous. This is how, folks. You're not going to get credit on Twitter. Deal with it, because I don't know who you are.
Right.
I don't necessarily have to follow you. If I'm,
Yeah.
by the way, Tom Verducci, he doesn't follow anybody, so he doesn't know if you broke the story. If you break a story 5 minutes earlier, Verducci says it. He's not going to give you credit, nor should he. No. I will never give anybody credit on Twitter, ever. I'm not following you.
If I break something, will you give me credit?
Yeah, if
You're
I'm following you.
Just for that, I'm going to look for something to break today.
Let's see.
So we're cutting the Mary Kay on Manziel, but we do have the Peter King.
Have you guys eaten at Tommy Burger?
Huh?
What's that?
They're asking Kristine and Colin, have both of you eaten a Tommy Burger yet?
What is Tommy Burger? I don't know what that is.
Kristine, you look really pretty.
Thank you. I feel like I don't today. I've got a hairstyle of didn't try, and I put mascara on today. So thank you.
Colin, they're asking if you're gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry.
Somebody's like, are you gonna cry, Colin?
I'm gonna cry. It'll happen any second. I'm gonna start bawling. So I was gonna tell this story off the air, but I'll tell it on the air. And then I got a rant. You just want to be here for the next 15 minutes. Go to foxsportsradio.com, iHeartRadio.com, or iHeartRadio app, or go to facebook.com/The Herd. We're doing the show live on Facebook today. We did it yesterday. When we're not on TV 7-8 days a year, we're just going to go to facebook.com/The Herd and let you interact with us. It's fun during the breaks. We answer questions. It's a lot of fun. We're going to have my guess is 400,000 people today will stop by our show. That's pretty cool. That is, which just shows you the ability now in America for you to find us. We are now so available to you. We'll just tell you where we're at and you go find us. That's a pretty good number. Cool. First of all, this isn't even a sports topic. Let me waste 3 minutes of your day. But like, I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, but I'm on it sometimes because I monetize it. I make a little money on it. It's good for my business, right? I'm promoting stuff for my show. But one of the things that shows you how self-absorbed people in the media are is that they think they need credit on Twitter. I would never give anybody credit on Twitter because I don't follow you. Tom Verducci is the best baseball reporter I think I've ever read or seen. Tom Verducci doesn't follow anybody. Meaning, if he breaks a story, you could have broken it 10 minutes earlier. How does he know? He doesn't follow you, nor do you have to follow anybody. If you do a story and break it on a major network or radio, okay. That's mass consumption. Twitter is niche.
Twitter.
So if I'm a baseball reporter, think about this. I've already have to cover every day for 8 months. I'm covering you. It's a daunting job. Even umpires get a vacation during the season. You didn't know that, right? Baseball reporters, they work in a week or two off during the season. That doesn't work that way in the NFL. Doesn't work that way in the NBA. Baseball seasons are so long. You ask so much of the reporters covering baseball. It's like covering 2 NFL seasons. Spring training, regular season, free agent signings, hot stove league. A Boston Red Sox reporter can turn his phone off for about 4 days a year. So if I'm with my wife in that 8-month stretch at dinner, because, you know, to keep our marriage together, we need to occasionally communicate and kick it by ourselves. And I get text by a general manager, bloody, 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 bloody is coming to our team. You're telling me I'm going to have to spend another 12 to 15 minutes checking every baseball Twitter account to make, and while I'm doing that, the story could be broken by somebody else. No, get over it. You get no credit on Twitter, ever. Ever. If you're looking for it, get a real estate license. Your career stinks. Twitter, little birdie, tweet, 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 Twitter is not even a sixth as big as Facebook. And I like Twitter. I do. The people in our business are ridiculous. Jay Billis doesn't follow anybody. Tom Verducci doesn't follow anybody. So if you have to follow for 8 months, and I'm at dinner with my wife, who I love, but I don't get to see for 8 months, I have to go and check all these other baseball Twitter accounts, these 488 other baseball reporters, to make sure they don't have it first, so I give them credit. Get over it. You're not getting credit on Twitter. Tweet, 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 tweet. Birdie, 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 birdie.
You're getting very aggressive on Twitter.
God, it just shows you. I get credit for breaking a story. Break it on TV or radio. Break it in your newspaper. We'll give you credit. I give credit. I'm a credit giver. I work at Fox. I bring on Peter King. I bring on Greg Cosell. I would bring on ESPN people. They will not allow it. They will not allow it. I bring on ESPN people. I bring on CBS people. I have a history of giving credit to other networks. When I was at ESPN, I had a rule. No more than one ESPN analyst a day. We don't have all the best people at Fox or ESPN. Let's bring on the best people, period. But this Twitter credit thing, get over yourself. It's ridiculous. And now I'm going to go crazy in about 2 minutes. First, Kristine with the news.
I wish I had some breaking stories that you could give me credit for. That would be nice. Johnny Manziel has issued a statement via his publicist on being waived by the Browns. He said, quote, "I'd like to thank the Browns for the opportunity they gave me nearly 2 years ago. We all hoped that we were building what could be a championship team for Cleveland. I will always remember the support I received from the organization, my teammates, and especially the fans."
Nice.
That's all you're going to say?
Yeah, sweet.
You think he wrote that?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You don't.
I do. I really do. I feel strongly about it. I'm so worked up about my next topic, I can't see
I know,
straight.
I can tell. I just tried to kind of make a joke with you, and you're like,
I am
nope, you give me crickets.
I'm just.
Not even tweets, crickets. John Elway just tweeted, speaking of tweets, that the Broncos have acquired quarterback Mark Sanchez for a conditional 2017 pick. He said he brings veteran leadership and will compete, and this is the first step in our process.
Well, listen, they've lost Malik Jackson, Danny Trevathan, their starting quarterback. The Raiders are getting better. The Patriots will be better and healthier at the end of the year. You know, it's a great championship by the Broncos, but they went all in about 3 years ago with Peyton, and they got 2 Super Bowls and 1 win. They're not going to get there for a few years.
I like Mark Sanchez in Denver. Kind of seems like they're just fit.
He'll be okay. He's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it fits right. The Buccaneers have signed Brent Grimes to a 2-year deal. And we've heard a lot about his wife, Mrs. Grimes. What's her name? Miko Grimes. She's been the one who's kind of gone off on the media, on Twitter. She's been arrested. She called out Ryan Tannehill a bunch. And multiple Dolphins players said that she was a distraction to the team.
Yes.
So she, after her husband signed this 2-year deal with the Buccaneers, has pulled the plug on her Twitter account. She will no longer be on Twitter, in case you were checking out.
A lot of Twitter stories today.
I know. I didn't even mean to do that. It just seemed really perfect after you gave your little
I didn't
Twitter
mean to
rant.
be angry about Twitter, but I think it is ridiculous when people are demanding, reporters are demanding credit for stories. So I got to go, if I cover the NBA, to every national, local guy to make sure you get. What if I don't want to follow you? A lot of people don't follow anybody.
How do you decide who you follow?
If they're entertaining. I'll follow if. I won't follow, like I will block people if they're vulgar or they're trolls. If you're just there to be angry, don't want that in my life.
Yeah.
But if you're fun, I like to follow people I follow some fans who are funny or clever.
Okay.
Like if you're talented, I'll follow you. But if you're going to be vulgar, you're out. It's my Twitter account. I'll block who I want. I mean, my driveway has a no trespassing sign. Why can't
Is it really?
Well, I mean, why can't I have a no trespassing sign on my Twitter account?
You should put that in part of your bio. Colin, do you know that you followed me for like 2 years?
I know I did.
You knew that you did?
Yeah, because you had information.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Celtics were good. You had information.
It wasn't because I was funny.
I didn't know you.
Dana White is saying that UFC 196 was the biggest pay-per-view in UFC history. He added a little bit to that. Here he is. I surely didn't. I have a hard time even watching that stuff, to be completely honest. It's hard for me to watch. And my eyes were glued to the TV for both fights.
People are making too much of the fact that Holly Holm lost. Now you've got a third woman who can hang. The bottom line is UFC, because of leg kicks and because of the multiple disciplines, nobody's going to go 65-0 in this sport. It's not built for that. In boxing, I'm a better boxer than you.
Right.
I'm going to beat you.
Right.
I can be a better boxer and a better wrestler. You're a leg kick guy. Whack. One shot to the head, fight's over. You're going to have really good people get upset all the time in UFC.
It just seems like it's like a fresh start now, too. Like Conor McGregor was super arrogant before, and now he's very humble, and so you look at him in a different way.
And remember this. You don't have rivalries, Kristine, until both people are beating the other people.
Yes.
Like in boxing, Frazier beat Ali, which made the third fight bigger. Everybody loses. So there's no such thing as a rivalry if Brady beats Andy Dalton 7 straight times. It's a rivalry when Peyton Manning started beating Brady. Then it was a rivalry.
Yes, that is the news.
Kristine with the news.
Well, that's the news. And thanks for stopping by. The Herdline News.
All right, phone number 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570. I was very aggressive about Twitter.
Are you still worked up?
No,
over
I
there?
kind of. All right,
I
listen.
want you to go and calm into the weekend.
I know. So listen, people confuse arguments all the time. You know, the guy says, my wife is a nag. No, you're a slob, and she doesn't want a frat house as her primary residence. She's not a nag. You're a slob. Guy said it all the time. Oh, my wife. She's really nagging on me. You're on your fantasy football team all day and you're unemployed. She'd like to marry a man who's a little bit of a player. It's kind of attractive when you have a job and you're not working on your fantasy football roster. Guys confuse nagging for having like standards and don't be a pig.
Get your together.
It's
not nagging when you have to ask for something over and over. You have to just fix it.
Yeah, so guys confuse arguments all the time. My wife is this. No, you're that, and she's got standards. So college basketball fans, whenever they defend their sport, and you can like it more than you like the NBA, I don't care. I'm not telling you, you can like whatever you like and like it. I like vanilla ice cream, you can like strawberry. I don't care. But stop saying this. The reason I like college basketball is because they play real defense. Nobody plays defense in the NBA. Oh, really? Then why did Jimmer average 30 in college and can't get a shot off in the press? Cody Zeller, Victor Oladipo, Frank Kaminsky. I mean, good Lord, folks. Shabazz Napier. These guys are scoring machines in college against those great defenses. They get to the NBA, they can't get shots off. The reason your game in college is 56 to 52, you're confusing the argument. It's not that your defense is great. It's that your offensive skill level is horrible. In the NBA, you leave anybody except the center, DeAndre Jordan, 15 feet from the hoop, and he's open, the shot goes down. In college, one of the reasons you can press and trap, there's about 2 guys a roster that can shoot. You can take big chances in college. Trapping, pressing, leave guys wide open. If you trap the guy that's the best shooter, he gives the ball up, 7 other guys can't shoot on that bench. I can give you 20 guys who can score at will in college. Adam Morrison, Frank Kaminsky, Doug McDermott, all sorts of guys. Shabazz Napier. They go to the NBA, they can't get shots off. In the NBA, it's not that they don't. Now remember about basketball, it's very simple. Wisconsin played yesterday. They had 7 field goals in the first half, and they shot 30% for the game. That's not rare. You see regularly in college basketball games that are 22 to 19 at half. That ain't defense, partner. That's bad, low-level offensive skill. Nebraska was up 26-21 at halftime. That's not because Nebraska's a defensive juggernaut. They're not even a defensive juggernaut in football anymore. Certainly not in basketball. The NBA is a vertical league and a linear league. People are super quick, and they can jump over you. In college, some guys are quick. Few can jump over you. I'll give you an example. Ben Simmons comes out of high school. If you think the defense is great in college, he's a baby. 18 when he enters, now 19. Forget the fact that he averages 20 and 12 with bad teammates who don't make him better, in a shorter game than the NBA, in a worse coach sport than the NBA. So in the NBA, he would have better coaching. It's an open game, fewer whistles. It's meant to score. Ben Simmons, forget the 2012 as a freshman. He shoots 56% as a baby. Is it realistic to think if Ben Simmons came back to college next year, let's not embellish, that he averages 27 or 28 and shoots higher than 56%? That's realistic, right? I'm not going to go crazy and say he averages 40. Ben Simmons, 20 points a game, 12 rebounds, 56% with bad coaching and teammates. Not setting him up for great shots. He has to carry everything. Next year, it's reasonable to assume he'd average, 28, 30 and shoot, 59%? But instead of going to college where he'd go 29 and shoot 60%, he's going to go into the NBA next year. You know what he's going to average? About 11. You know what he's going to shoot? About 42%. That's what he's going to average. How is that so? NBA's more wide open. They don't play any defense. Folks, you're confusing the argument. The reason the NBA does not trap, because outside of the center, everybody can handle the ball. You'd get eaten alive up and down the court. You'd have players wide open everywhere. And in the NBA, you'd get destroyed. That's why every NBA coach doesn't trap. That's why Rick Pitino's entire style is trap. You take the ball out of the shooter's hands. And in college, there aren't many shooters. I mean, Ryan Kelly was 4 years at Duke, shot 42% from threes. Now he shoots 17% from the Lakers. Not only is it further out, you don't get wide open threes. So you can like college basketball. Go ahead, I don't care. Some people like T-Bone, some people like filet mignon. Like whatever you like. But you're confusing the argument. Your wife's not a nag. You're a slob. Your games are 56-52, not because you're playing great defense. It's because your offensive skill level is awful. It's bad. Very few guys in college can handle the ball effectively over 6'6". Very few guys can shoot. And when you have a guy like Doug McDermott who can, he just stands out. He can drop 30 a night. It's just a bad, and for the record, mostly in sports, we do know that teams today are mostly better than teams 20, 30 years ago. But college basketball has always been the exception. 20 years ago, Tim Duncan and Ewing stayed 3 and 4 years. College basketball teams 20 years ago would destroy college basketball teams today. Kentucky's got 18-year-olds. against Patrick Ewing? Are you kidding me? Think about this. Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler played on the same college team. They stayed for 3 years. They couldn't win a title. You could have basketball title. Kemba Walker can carry you through a college tournament now. Akeem and Drexler couldn't win one, and they were juniors. The sport isn't the same. College basketball, the skill level offensively is awful. Even the Kentucky teams, they're talented. They're not skilled. That's why Calipari, a very smart guy. Have you noticed this? Have you noticed what Calipari does at Kentucky? It's a very smart move by Calipari. Is that Calipari doesn't promote offense. Have you noticed this? What does Calipari's team always stress? Defense. Why? Because he knows he has longer, better athletes. You can be a good defensive player at 19. He knows none of those kids are skilled offensively at 19. He knows they'll all be better offensively at 24, 25. Because offense takes time. Michael Jordan couldn't shoot a long-distance jumper until like his 4th year in the league. A lot of guys walk into the NBA out of college, they can't shoot. You're going to class, limited hours, NBA is 82 games, preseason, postseason, practice, all you do. Off-season, all you do is shoot. So stop the bad take on college basketball. Scores are low because they play real defense. That ain't it, brother. The offense is awful. It's awful. If you spend more time managing your bracket than you do managing your student loans, you need SoFi.com. Let them help you make sense of your situation and consolidate or refinance your loans at a low rate. Go to SoFi.com, SoFi.com/Colin. Let them help you today. Facebook.com/The Herd. Let's watch our last 7 minutes. Taking a break, come back to The Herd.
What are you doing this weekend?
I have dinner plans tonight, and then I have a brunch / like drinking at Hotel Irwin in Santa Monica.
Oh, it's a nice place.
Yeah, what is it like?
The roof is nice.
That's what we're doing.
Roof, it's good view.
Is it casual? Ish.
John Goulet, welcome.
Wait, was that live just
Yeah,
there where I was
we're-
talking about my plans where I'm going to be this
Oh,
weekend?
yeah.
Amazing.
Nobody heard.
I want to change that.
Maybe need to rethink that idea.
It is trying. Jimmer Fredette goes to the NBA. He can't get a good shot.
Oh, you want to
He
do
can't get a
punches
good
now?
shot.
It's
That's
totally.
interesting.
And I'm sitting
Oh,
here
we got
watching
the-
this game.
Oh, well, how
We
much
got
fun is
the
that?
whole herd here.
Scott's the one shit.
Ew.
Right, after
All our
Ew,
producers here.
someone just tweeted this picture. I look like garbage in this
What is it
picture.
from our live?
I look
broadcast?
like I'm
video
drunk.
games, and I haven't played since I
No,
was a
that's
little kid.
fine.
I'm not.
Ew.
You're just blinking.
But
No.
you play the first level of game, it slowly adds some space. You start building a skill. Then you increase the level.
My
and
eye
it gets
is
tighter.
twitching.
It's claustrophobic, and it's faster. You make quick decisions. And that's why it takes a guy like Michael Jordan some time to develop the stroke,
Yes.
because you got bigger guys who can corner you quicker.
Ross, we're
So
all
it's just like a
continuous the
video
whole time,
game,
right?
you need time to process.
Say
it.
again?
Some guys
No,
need
no,
to
no.
protect.
Do you like to do a quick Q&A?
Yeah, we want to do a Q&A.
Go ahead.
Behind the scenes Q&A. How about
Ask
that?
us all questions.
Producing Q&A.
We got producers.
Time to build all that.
We have
Some
talent.
people have it, some people don't. But
Yeah.
even
It's
if
getting
you
away
do
with
it,
it.
it takes time.
Yes.
Best looking girl in the room.
No one can conquer
I'm the
video
only
games.
girl in the room.
That's right, right.
It
Oh.
takes
How about
time
what
to
does
develop.
Chewy wear when we do radio
Steve
on?
Yeah.
It's a crank.
Slippers.
Slippers.
Are those Uggs?
It's incredible.
Every
Trying to
time
like
sport growing up,
celebrate?
I don't even watch it.
It's just the quality of
Every
offense.
time.
I mean, look at this guy. He just missed a dunk.
Yeah.
Wide open. Yeah.
Missed the dunk.
If anyone here thought
Look at
Purdue
this.
Illinois was going to be a
Nobody
good
can
game.
pass. It's garbage.
Made that one.
When you only average 5 points every 5 minutes, you know you got a problem.
I watch a lot of NBA.
Christine, would you rather
and
marry
maybe this is
Superman or
bad.
Last night I'm at
Spider-Man?
Arthur J's in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
They got a college game on. My wife goes, "Hey, my daughter's with the
Superman.
Lakers. Can you find it?" So he turns the second TV on, and it's
Okay.
Spurs.
I was calling in the
Yeah,
morning
Chicago.
meeting.
Yep.
And the first second,
He's
there's a
not bad.
rebound, and a Spur comes in, bang! And I'm like,
Green.
men,
Yeah.
little boys.
Boys.
Like
Give him
the
the
college
shit,
doesn't even
whatever
look
it's
like
like.
the NBA.
Yeah, right.
Like college
It
football at
used
its
to.
highest level, There's 25 NFLers
No
on the
questions
field.
for us.
You can see
We'll be
the
back
NFL.
on FS1 on Monday.
When Alabama plays Ohio State,
What?
They
there's
asked
like
when we're
19
back on
first-round picks.
FS1.
Oh, yeah.
I said
On
There's
Monday.
not an NBA player on that floor.
The all
Full week Monday, Ross.
2 screens.
Full week.
Wisconsin.
Full week on
No
FS1.
worries.
Full
What?
No
week.
preemption sex?
It's a different sport.
Yeah, not even the same game.
Frank
Waffles or
Kaminsky
pancakes?
dominates college.
Yes.
Depends
He
on
can't
the
start
mood
for
I'm
bad
in.
teams.
Chicken
I
and
like-
waffles.
They're actually
Do you ever
good.
go to,
They
Dab, dab.
There's a
Dab,
really great
dab.
breakfast place that I love, and they have pancakes with Oreos in them. They're very good, but I also like they have waffles with strawberries. So.
Isn't it amazing?
place.
We were talking about
Don't
this
say
earlier.
it,
How
don't
bad the
say it.
East is.
Would
Sunset,
you don't want
though,
But if
on
you're,
Nailed it.
if you're rebuilding in the West or the T-Wolves,
Yeah.
Would you rather own a
you have
yacht
to coach
or
your
a
third
private
seed.
jet?
100%.
A jet.
Celtics,
Because I
you gotta
gotta
love
tell
what
you,
they're doing, but
like,
if they
my
win the
schedule would
West,
be
the
so much
T-Wolves.
easier if it
They'd
didn't
be
have
a
to
little
depend
better.
on
Because the
flight
coach is
times to
The coach
certain
is so
cities. If
good,
I
but
could just
the
get
thing
on the
is,
plane and
they're
go,
also playing against all the terrible East
make a big
teams.
So the
difference. I'm
Ravens-
actually gonna miss 4 days of
Like,
this
their record
show
against the West, there's no
because
way
of
they
flight
The T-Wolves
times,
have
where it could have been
Towns.
two.
By the way, they have Wiggins and Towns.
But
The
literally,
Celtics
flight
don't have a
times
single star.
are dictating that I
Isaiah
have to leave.
Thomas,
So maybe a her jet in the works?
Yes.
I'm thinking,
David
and I-
Brass.
hey, wheels
Or
up
Jay
if you're
Crowder.
out there,
One of
please.
those two.
We probably
Grow
could,
up.
yeah.
What time do you all have to wake up most days to prepare for the
Oh, get
show?
over it.
Oh, come on.
Oh, really?
4:30? 4:30. 4:30. Every day.
Yeah.
You wake up
Alarm
at
goes off
4?
at
4
4
a.m. 4:00.
What time do you go to bed?
3:59 and
He
then.
doesn't sleep. He goes to bed like at 11.
Wait, where do you live?
Small difference.
Right here?
I think
Right over
paying
here.
these companies
Why
that
do
put
you wake
on
up
there
at
in some
4?
capacity.
Because he's an idiot. I mean,
I gotta get pretty, and then no, I mean,
Yeah.
just,
Come on.
I woke up at 4 to get. But I'm in. What time do you think I'm in? Also,
6:15?
No, 5.
No, 5.
5:30. 5:15, 5:30.
5.
What time do you get in?
Oh, no, right after that.
5:45.
But I have a longer drive, so about 5:40.
5:45.
So what time do you wake up?
I'm up at 4:30 every day. 4:30 out the door by 5, right
I wake
before
up
5.
at 5.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
still awful in most people's eyes. 5's rough. Too.
I've been considering waking up at 4:30 and working out before work.
Big commitment.
Not a bad idea. You have more energy, but that's tough.
Big commitment.
Yeah,
That means
but
you gotta go
it's
to
so
bed
hard to work
earlier.
out after work.
Christine, somebody asked if these guys are your big brothers now.
Oh, kind of. Except for they all want me to get. Do you guys want me to get married and have
No,
kids?
I don't. I mean, I do, but not now.
Okay.
I mean, not right now. Like,
No.
not like college. I don't want you to get
No.
married like this weekend. No.
I'm good on that. No.
So just stay single.
Well, no, it's date. Seriously. But
Date.
Just don't move too
Enjoy.
fast. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Your,
So I've got like Cupid and the devil here.
I just
One of
know.
them's like, get married, have kids. No, date.
I always say
enjoy.
mid-30s like is a great time to have.
For
that's
a
when you have-
dude,
For a
There you
kid.
go.
I'm a chick.
Peter King, Mary Kay Cabot.
Got it.
All right, welcome back. Facebook.com/The Herd. What's the total number today for fun?
Hold on one second.
We just put our shows. Write it down there. I got these big head cans on. I can't hear a thing.
I like this song here.
What is it?
What is this called? I forget the name of the song. Yeah.
Oh,
I
we can't say the
Sorry.
title on
Oh,
the
yeah,
air.
yeah, yeah. I know what it is. I can't say it.
866-987-2570.
Give or take a couple.
All right, 410,000 people showed up to watch us today on Facebook.com/The Herd. Pretty cool. It's not even football season. 410,000 people just on Facebook.com/The Herd. So thank you. That's fun. We're going to do this when we're not on television. And you'll start seeing other shows doing it, I'm sure, because it's been such a robust number. And, just like our set, you're seeing people now duplicate it. The way it goes.
Wait, when does this happen again that we're radio only? Do you know?
No, they told me this a month and a half ago. I don't know what's going on,
I don't
NASCAR
know.
or soccer. I don't know. But anyway, it's fun, and we do appreciate you stopping by. We just think it's kind of cool that we can connect in different ways. And if we're not on TV, it's like let's talk to our audience. It's been fun. We go back and forth. It's kind of a different experience, but we've enjoyed it, and we thank you so much for stopping by. Didn't make a penny on it, but we still like it.
You didn't have to shave either.
I know I look like hell. Peter King, Mary Kay Cabot, Ric Bucher all stopped by today. Peter King, Johnny Manziel's been released by the Cleveland Browns. And I said, Peter, it's over, right? Like his NFL career is over. And here's what he said about Johnny Manziel.
Somebody's going to have to give him some tough love and say, okay, we'll sign you for the future, but here's the following things we want you to do. And if you violate any one basic tenet of that in the next 6 months, you're cut. We're not giving you any guaranteed money up front.
Heath Evans, a running back, went on the NFL Network and said they should ban him from the NFL. And I said 2.5 hours ago as my lead, Don't regulate Johnny Manziel. There's no reason for collusion or keep out signs. He's colluded himself. In our society, we over-regulate and over-legislate. The cream rises, always does. Some people, listen, 50% of lottery winners, what's the old stat? Within 10 years, they're broke. It doesn't matter. Wealth doesn't solve poor. Sometimes it's just discipline. Sometimes it's opportunity. But if you don't have discipline, you could even get the lottery. And half the people are broke. See, we always think, oh my God, that's solves their problems. The thing that solves generally people who want to make more money is discipline, hard work, educate yourself in any field. You know, the answer is not just throw money at stuff. Because if you lack the discipline, it's going to disappear anyway. So, everything is in this country. Regulate, legislate, more laws. Kevin Durant can't go to the Warriors. That's terrible. Let him go. Let the market play itself out. He may hurt the chemistry. We're all fear-based. Can't vote for that guy. Can't vote for that woman. Fear, 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 fear. Just let the system play out. Americans, you will be as successful in life as your judgment allows you to be. Because life's all about choices. We'll make 20 today. You'll make 20, Kristine. I'll make 20. You will become as successful as your choices allow you to be. And if Johnny Manziel can make a team fun, there's no reason to call the owners and say, keep him out. Don't do that. He's keeping himself out. Last night, fourth night in a row in LA, he was out partying. No one can even watch him. Mary Kay Cabot, Cleveland playing dealer, has covered him for years. And I said, what was it like covering Johnny Manziel? So, just don't, you don't have to keep him out. What happens, happens. RG3 will get a second chance. Kaepernick will get a second chance. We're trying so hard in society, like we just want to, don't do this, we'll legislate that, we'll legislate this. Not that I'm a total libertarian, but don't try to always manipulate the market. Whatever happens to Johnny, he'll be as successful as his choices allow him to be. Good luck to him. I wish him the best. Good luck to him. I mean, the NBA right now is totally lopsided. The Boston Celtics, in my opinion, are the second best team in the East. They're rebuilding. They're essentially the Minnesota Timberwolves without any stars in the West. They won't make the playoffs. In hockey, the West. In the NBA, the West. In college football, the South is dominating. Okay? Don't just let it play itself out. Don't always try to have ultimate parity. Who said ultimate parity is better? Who said it? It's fun to have dynasties, dominating people. People who are toppled. Love, hate, conflict. That's good about sports. By the way, this is the single most discouraging thing I've ever read. I in no way, I like the Ohio State Buckeyes, so I do not want to be seen as anti-Ohio. I rip the Browns, but they're pretty pathetic. So I say this deeply discouraged and hoping eventually it will change. But this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. According to a poll by Public Policy Polling, they do a bunch of polls. 57% of Ohio residents surveyed think the Ohio State Buckeyes would beat the Cleveland Browns if they played one another. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm going to simplify this. You do get that all the players for the Cleveland Browns are NFL players. And at any one time, 80% of the roster for Ohio State is not an NFL player. They may be, but they're 2 years away. They're freshmen. They may be, but they're redshirt sophomores. But at any given year, even for a great Ohio State team, they've got about 7 guys in that moment who are NFL players, and half of them will underachieve. Would be cut by that same Browns franchise 3 years later. Joey Bosa dominates college football. Joey Bosa is not going to be J.J. Watt, I can assure you, in the NFL. Yes, I'll dig deeper. Browns fans, this is incredible. 23%. Only 23%, less than a quarter, think the Browns would win. 57% think the Buckeyes would win. That's 80%. The other 20 are so sad they wouldn't come out of the house and vote. So would I take J.T. Barrett of Ohio State? Who's the Browns quarterback this morning? Who is it now? Luke McCown?
Josh.
I would take Luke McCown. Josh McCown. I would take Josh McCown. This second to win an NFL game? Yes, I take Josh McCown. I mean, that is, by the way, I'm not anti-Ohio. I am rooting for in a year those numbers to flip. But right now, that may be the most discouraging thing I've ever seen about American citizenry. If I was in Ohio right now and getting in a car to drive home, I think I would I would take back roads. I'm not sure I'd want to be on the freeway with people making those sort of decisions. All right, we got to get out of here. Great job, everybody. So much fun this week. Next week, we're back on television. I will shave.
Thank you.
My sailor friend, Kristine Leahy. Thank you so much. Facebook.com/The Herd. All the best stuff today. It's The Herd.
All right, guys. See you next week.
Bye-bye.